It was being billed as the largest nationwide work stoppage in Brazil for nearly 25 years. And in Sao Paulo, home to the largest labor unions in the country, members took to the streets by the thousands in what they called a national day of struggle. In all 26 states, there were work stoppages. It was widespread, in some cities shutting down ports, post offices, and banks, and blocking dozens of interstate highways. While it was peaceful in Sao Paulo and much of the rest of Brazil, it wasn't in Rio de Janeiro, where a small group of protesters, unaffiliated with the unions, set fires and had to be dispersed by riot police in scenes that harkened back to violence and protests from last month. Like the other protests that swept over Brazil in recent weeks, the union members had a long list of demands.
We want all oil royalties for education, and we're here to reinforce and strengthen the fight on the streets.
I am here for education and health because Brazil is totally behind on these issues.
But unlike the other protests where hundreds of thousands took to the streets on consecutive days, these union marches didn't bring out nearly the same number of people. Perhaps because the unions historically support the political party currently in power.
The Workers' Party of President Dilma Rousseff and ex-President Lula da Silva have been in power for over a decade now, and they owe their entire political existence to labor unions because it was the unions that were really the foundation of the Workers' Party when it was founded. But now, as protests sweep across Brazil, the labor unions have mostly been on the sidelines, silent until now.
There are thousands of labor unions in Brazil and equally as many divisions.
The unions will have to decide whose side they're on, if they're going to support the workers because they will fight with or without them, or if they're going to continue on the side of the government.
This was a day for unions to test their own ability to again retake the streets and mobilize, something they showed they can do, even if on a smaller scale than organizers predicted. But the harder task might be remaining relevant at a moment in time when all Brazilians feel the need to protest, not just those in unions. Gabriel Elizondo, Al Jazeera, Sao Paulo.